Hello, everybody, and good night. It is me, Jamie Cote from Nelson, BC, and our fabulous four here. We got Michele, Deb, and Marcy. How are you guys doing tonight?
Doing awesome.
Good. Awesome. Tonight, we're going to be doing something a little bit different. The four of us are involved in a wonderful company that we hold very close to us. And about 4 months ago, I'd say, we were having a meeting and the word holistic popped up. It was kind of new to me, and we kind of started delving into it. And we found that to me, it meant mind, body, and soul connection. And it found like it really connected with all of us that way. So tonight we're going to talk more about how we've incorporated that into this company called RX. And it's a company that's a health and wellness company. And the reason why I believe in this health and wellness and a holistic approach is I don't believe that I can have one without the other. I've started a bit of my own fitness journey in the last little while, and the more fit my body becomes, the more fit my mind becomes. And I've found that taking these products because of what's in them has really helped me in that journey. Deb, you're the one who introduced me to this company. How does the word holistic, what does that mean to you?
Well, I remember when you did that and we were all trying to put a name to holistic, and it was just so big. It seemed so massive and yet so right all at the same time. We just delved into that word. I think did we Google it to see if we had it right? What does it mean to me? Absolutely centered in a centered, peaceful, pay forward kind of way.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And how does RX, the company, fit with that holistic approach? Like for you, how does it like kind of connect?
They have that is an awesome question. Thank you. The 360 degree looking at life in mind, body, and soul, meaning what we're putting into our bodies, what we're breathing, what we're believing that we can do more is RX's mantra, to be disruptive in our industry and to be above and beyond in every regard, health, wealth, and paying it forward in a massive way. So I believe with their integrity, RXARIIX, and right from the beginning, I kind of thought integrity with inspiration is the two I's. I don't think that was ever intended. It's just what I kind of took in there. So RX, I love the name, and it started with that name right from the very get-go, 10 years ago, July 2020.
Nice. And Marcy, how does the company and the word holistic like fit in with you, like personally? Like why have you chosen this path in this company?
I have a very spiritual, not religious, but a very spiritual approach to life. And RX, and as Deb said, the integrity of RX and the products fit in with that. I have seen the transformation they've made in thousands of lives over the last couple of years. And they don't just talk about supplements. They talk about, and they really come together as a family unit and have this whole, when we're at conferences and stuff, there's like this humongous family. And so to me, holistic meant like all encompassing, and we come together as this huge family.
That's amazing. What was the first thing that kind of like drew you to the, like what product or what happened? How did RX draw you in?
I had a very high stressful job in probably the biggest global enterprise retail outlet in the world. And I'm sure you can all guess what that is. I was at my wit's end. I don't think I could have worked another week. And a coworker there introduced me to this little package. She gave me 3 of these. and it's called Elite. And she said, why don't you just take this with water for 3 days and tell me, one a day for 3 days, and tell me what happens. And I said, okay, why not? And so within 24, 36 hours, I was like, completely, my mind was clear, my stress levels were down, I was happy. I think I even my rings kind of fit better, like looser and stuff like that, because I wear rings on every finger, so they were all kind of loose. And it's like, wow. So I couldn't wait to talk to her, and I said, what did you give me? And she said, it's called Elite, and it's supposed to help with reduce stress and balance hormones. And I said, well, what's in it? And I didn't even listen to anything she had said that was in it, except this magic ingredient called ashwagandha. And what she didn't know at the time is I was seeing my GP, my doctor, and she had put me on ashwagandha to lower my stress. And so I'm like lit up like a Christmas tree. And I said, they have ashwagandha in there? And I was like, do you even know what that is? She said, I don't know what it is. All I know is it works. And I said, well, I know it really works. And so that's how it started. So this is for probably about 2 months. This was the first product that I ever had. And just recently they've upgraded it. They've added, besides ashwagandha, they've added holy basil, red clover, evening primrose for any person that's had I had postnatal depression, and I was on evening primrose, lysine, Indian gooseberry, xanthanin, I can't even say that word very well, aloe, and ashwagandha. And I was just focused on the ashwagandha because I know that ashwagandha lowers cortisol levels. This is what my doctor had taught me. And so it's no wonder this works so fabulously, so fast. And I won't ever go another day without this product, and neither will the rest of my family.
Nice. That's amazing. So you actually didn't know, someone just randomly gave you this package and you had this amazing transformation with it, and now you just won't go without it again. And how many people, like, since you've been like working with RX, have you introduced Elite to?
Oh my, hundreds. I don't know. I do the same thing as that lady did for me. I'm constantly handing out 3 of them and saying, get back to me if you love this product as much as I do. So just hundreds of people I've introduced to Elite for sure.
Nice. Amazing. Yeah, it was for me. I met Deb online, and like we just started chatting, and through Facebook online, and
I'm glad you did that.
we were both in the network marketing space, and just kind of like loved the whole idea. I love the idea of being able to like work from home, and that's what I was looking for at the time, was a way to get out of my job, a way to get out of working 13 hours a day. I'm killing myself for oil money in Alberta. And yeah, I didn't know much about Deb, but she was from my hometown in Nelson. And so we made a plan to meet up. And then she started talking to me, and she was really excited, and we kind of connected right away. So she gave me some products to try, which was, I just tried everything because that's what I kind of do. And I've been battling with gout for a long time. And for those of you who don't know what gout is, it's a buildup of uric acid in your joints. It's like I go to bed feeling fine, then all of a sudden in the middle of the night, I wake up feeling like someone smashed my toe with a sledgehammer, and it like lasts for weeks at a time. Pretty painful stuff. So I was battling with that back in July, and just thought my body was falling apart. I was getting old, and I just thought this is what it was going to be like. And then I met Deb, and she gave me a couple products. She gave me one in particular, this product here called MOA, and it's got amazing ingredients in it. It's got lion's mane mushrooms in it. It's got turmeric in it. It's got shiitake mushrooms. It has, what else is in here? It has cordyceps mushrooms, so many mushrooms. It's got white tea extract. It's got Itaki mushrooms. It's got so many mushrooms in it. And if anybody knows anything about mushrooms, they've been around a lot longer than we have been. And definitely the Chinese culture has used these mushrooms for a long time for medicinal purposes. I know there's a documentary out right now called Fantastic Fungi, and it goes in depth into how magical mushrooms are for us. And I know that lion's mane mushrooms, it's actually, they've done studies showing that it's rebuilding our neural pathways in our brains, which is amazing. So all the ingredients that are in this product, I could go out and I could find myself and I could see if they're like ethically sourced and organic and all this stuff. And I could make this little batch, this concoction myself. But we have an amazing scientific advisory board that does all the studying for us, whether it's the products that are in Elite or what's in MOA. And not only are they putting these products in here, these ingredients, but they're making sure that they work together right, which is amazing. And I mean, like this little pouch, I can take anywhere with me. And I just open it up and I just take it. And it's like so simple that it's like too easy not to take. And that's what I love about these products, that somebody's done all the hard work for us. And all we have to do is try them. And this is the same thing. This can be like a business card where you just go and hand it out. And even just the taste of this stuff, I love it because everyone thinks it's going to taste like fruit, which it doesn't taste like fruit. So it's exciting.
Can I add to that?
Oh, 100%.
So you were saying you've got the mushrooms in there, and then you talked about the taste, but there's altogether, I think, 36 superfoods in there. And when you're saying formulating it, can you imagine formulating 36 superfoods all across the world, just like you're mentioning, and then to put that in a pouch and keep it preserved so that when you get it, it's fresh. So I don't know if you know that story, if I ever told you, Jamie. I think a couple other people might know this story, that they created their own natural preservative. They went to the market to get it produced, and all the market wanted to do was to give a non-natural preservative because that's the only thing out there. And they would not put something that has such wide range across the world in a pouch for you to sip and then put something not so good for you in there. You know, that would, so they invented their own line of natural preservative, which I don't know, I can picture you mixing all those ingredients in a pot, but could you keep them, you know?
Well, and that's the thing though, is like I try to do it maybe once and maybe I'd be able to do it for a week, but it's not sustainable. I know that, but this is very sustainable. And the fact that when I started taking it, it was like, I remember when I first met you, I was walking down the stairs in the morning like a 90-year-old man, gripping onto the railing and just walking down one stair at a time. And then 3 weeks later, now every morning I'm grateful when I'm running down those stairs. Every single morning when I take that first step down the stairs, I'm so happy. And it's one of those things like, I'll never go without this ever again. And that's the coolest thing about this company is it's like, we're not selling anything. All we're doing is letting people that need these products try them. And if they work, then that's it. They kind of, they do the magic themselves. Marcy, what's going on right now? You're doing something pretty awesome right now. Can you tell us a little bit about what's going on in your world?
Before I do, I'm going to put you back to, I'm going to volley the ball back to you.
Okay.
I want you to tell me what you're doing with some drops.
Well, that's fair. So right now, one of the products for that RX has is these drops. I love to call them voodoo drops. They're Slenderics, and what they are is they're hormone balancing drops. One is a hormone balancing, the other one has like vitamin B12 to like fight stress and stuff like that. But I started about 12 weeks ago, I started my fitness journey and I kind of started taking the drops with that. And obviously, you know, it was a big change in my life and like I was getting fit and doing all this stuff. And then after I did about 2 rounds of the drops, I stopped taking them. And then that's just like everything. That's when I noticed how well they were really, really working. For me, it was controlling the cravings that I really didn't know I had, which sounds silly because like I was eating so much bread. I was the type of guy that I'd put 2 pieces of toast in the toaster and then I'd eat like 3 pieces of buttered bread while I was waiting for the toast to pop from the toaster. Like it was bad. And chocolate, I was like a chocolate hound. Like every time I went for my coffee, I needed to have my chocolate fix, sugar and stuff like that. And it's funny because like I kind of knew it was bad for me, but I didn't know how much it had control of me. So I started taking these drops, and I remember the first day, actually, my mom gave me like 3 chocolate bars, and I was supposed to share them with my girlfriend at the time. And I got home and I'd already eaten 2 of them. And then I put the one in the fridge and I ate half of that one. And I'm like, oh man, I got to save the rest for her, right? And then I was sitting there and I was listening to something, and someone mentioned the name sugar. And usually sugar is like, I think, oh, those chocolate bars in the fridge, and go run and get them, right? And then eat them. But as soon as that was said, I was like, wow, I didn't get triggered. And I did make that connection with the drops yet. I was just kind of confused, right? And then so I went like the rest of that day. And then by the end of the day, I got triggered again. And I realized that I still didn't want the chocolate bar. So I literally went to the fridge, opened the fridge door, and like stared at the chocolate bar and was like, I want to eat the chocolate bar. But I didn't. And that was kind of like, that was where I called them the voodoo drops, because I was like, this, I would not believe if I wasn't going through it. You know what I mean? Like, listening to people say this stuff, it's just, you're not going to believe it until you do it. And then after meeting you guys and hearing your stories and seeing all the other stories about them, it's amazing that they're made for balancing hormones, and then the side effect is magically weight loss, because when our bodies are happy, that starts happening like naturally, right? Our bodies find that like homeostasis, maybe. Is that a good word?
Mm.
So
Another
that
one
was
for
my
Google.
experience with the drops.
Yeah. So what's happening now that we know what we're talking about, these wonderful drops, is that there is RX is doing a Slenderize challenge. And so for 8 weeks, everybody's taking these drops and they're getting back into the gym, and they're trying to live out their New Year's resolutions and stuff like that. But I did a study one time that said some amazing high number, 95, 97% of New Year's resolutions fail.
Mm-hmm.
And especially when it comes to diet and exercise. So as you get, I walked into Walmart just yesterday and the whole wall is exercise equipment. And it's like, oh, New Year's resolution time. So what I wanted to do something different this year. So in tune with the Slenderize challenge and the weight loss challenge, the weight loss challenge isn't just about losing weight, as you said, Jamie, it's about rebalancing our hormones and getting healthy. So, but what I wanted to do is run a Monday meeting. Every Monday night, I'm doing a Monday meeting talking about a laser focus on health and wellness. So we're taking a holistic approach alongside the Slenderize challenge, using the mind, body, and spirit to work with the drops. There you go. So, and now that brings me to, I think, where we got on the holistic conversation was we were trying to figure out the difference between maybe homeopathic and holistic. Is that it? Because the drops are homeopathic. And so maybe that's where we started Googling what this means, what that means. And then we all loved that holistic means a mind, body, and soul connection. So that's what my Monday night is going to be about, along with Slenderize, a mind, body, and soul connection to health and wellness, called the New Year, New Me, focus on health and wellness.
Nice. And it's amazing because like I love that. And the whole reason, one of the reasons why I really started with this company is it's not about the products, about more so about us becoming healthy, like whether it's finding a vehicle to get out of that job that you hate, that we're in like way too much and we complain about all the time, or whether it's having a product that helps us get healthy, or whether it's having something that calms our minds down and relieves our stress. Like that's the thing, is like there's so much here in our lives. There's like those pillars of like our work life, like, you know, our love life, and then our health. And it's finding that balance is really hard. And sometimes it's just having this little helping hand, whether it's a group of people to talk to on Monday night, or whether it's a product or whatever we're looking for. Like that's the amazing thing. How about you, Michele? How about you? How did you get involved with RX?
Well, I started out with the so-called voodoo drops. And actually my husband calls them the same thing. So yeah, I started out with those, and I managed to lose, 44 pounds while I was on that. But kind of the neat thing about those were kind of an extra thing that I found that they helped me with. I was actually seeing a acupuncturist, Chinese medicine doctor for my menopause, because I was getting close to my 50s at that time. Now I'm in my 50s. But anyway, I was seeing her, and she'd actually put me on some herbs and concoctions. And I was taking those and doing acupuncture. And then when I started the drops, I just decided not to do the her concoctions because I didn't want to mix and match and cause any issues. And I went to see her one day, and we were talking. It was probably about a month later, I guess, when I started the drops. And she was asking, what your symptoms were. How are your hot flashes? How are your night sweats? And I went, wow, like actually, I have not had a single one. And she was quite amazed by that. So I won't ever be for sure without the Accelerate, which is one of the drops, which has B12s. And also my family really found that they accused me of being in a bad mood before I started the drops. And they said that it really toned me down. And I was like, okay, it works. So they won't let me go without them either.
Nice. That's amazing. I know on my journey here, I've met a lot of women that are like coming into that age and stuff. And I'm like, I don't know, but I have a wonderful group of women that is more than willing to talk and share. And that's what I love about this group. Like, that's like, I feel really lucky that I found you guys. So kind of like to wrap this up a little bit, like why, I just want to leave this on a note of like why we're in here, why we're doing this, why we want to like reach out to people. One thing, Marcy, I know your eye on the prize for like living on that white sand beach is kind of something. When we did those vision boards a couple of weeks ago, it was something that came up. What's your why for doing this and reaching out to people like this and sharing this opportunity?
Well, besides that, I want to help people get healthy, stay healthy, and live much longer than my mom, my sister, and my father. Besides that, I'm like 9 years and 3.5 months and 2 days away from retirement, roughly. And I don't have a really great retirement plan. And yeah, can you imagine anything better than working a business on a beach in the Dominican Republic? I can't think of anything better. So that's my eye on the prize. And at the same time, I get to share the stories and I get to help people. Maybe not buy any more of those vitamins on the Walmart shelf, because I always tell people, because there was a study done, Deanna Latson talks about it. There was a study done where they had tested all the Walmarts and Walgreens and everything else, and massive amounts of them failed. What they said was in the product actually wasn't. So I used to tell people, why don't you just walk into Walmart, throw $100 on the counter and walk back out? Because a lot of this stuff is just fillers. I know that what we have is 100% guaranteed potency to the end of the expiration of the product. I know it works. And I know that there's a massive amount of them in my home that I'll never live without.
Nice.
So that's my why.
And Deb?
Well, for me, I started 8 or 9 years ago, and we've merged from that company into this one. And it was like heaven on earth when I heard that their belief is that we are meant to live to 120, 140, 150 years. And it's just the first world diseases like strokes and diabetes and heart attacks, which took Bruce's mom and dad. And you feel helpless when you see them in the hospital and you want to be able to do something about it. And so when I heard that there's whole foods in the supplement, whole foods in the drink, there's filtered water, your first instinct, most people that I meet that are doing this with us, is to help someone. You automatically think of someone that you want to help. And that's really the motivation to get up every morning. The other motivation is, since I'm going to live to 120, 140, unless a car kills me, a car accident or something, or a helicopter falls on my head, divine intervention. Unless that happens, I have to, I've got a lot of living to do. I'm 61. I spent a good 30 odd years raising kids and doing what they needed and what they wanted to do, and supplemented my income and theirs with my job. And it was a fear-based industry of insurance. And I loved the people I dealt with. They were all entrepreneurs in commercial insurance, but just kept feeling I couldn't get out into my garden. I wanted to be out in there. I have lots of desire to pay it forward, and not being fruitful as well in my pocketbook hinders me from doing that. And providing a sanctuary of gardens and vegetables and being self-sustainable. So part of my gardening and part of my belief in RX, and especially during times that we've been experiencing with the pandemic, and how vital it is that our own health and welfare is our own business, not the government's and no one else's. We need to look after ourselves. It's take onus on that, and I want to help people be able to reach that goal as well, if that's what's true for them.
Nice. Yeah, and like you're saying, it's like the timing of what's happening in our world at the moment that's kind of caught everybody by surprise, and we just don't know what's going on, and it's time for us to take care of ourselves. That might be stepping a little bit out of bounds, but I fully believe that. Like, I was in a situation where all of my income streams dried up, and this is where these opportunities presented themselves to me. And I made the decision that I was going to take control of my own life and my own finances, and doing it in a health and wellness way just seemed to really click. So that's the thing right now. The timing is amazing for what we're doing. If there's anybody listening to this that agrees with the whole holistic approach and wants to know more, please reach out to the person that introduced you to this video and just have a chat. And if you guys want to ask us any questions, we're always free to answer anything. We love talking about the business. We're a pretty happy group, and would love to ask anything. So I want to thank everybody for their time tonight. This has been really fun. And yeah, have an amazing night or day, and we will talk to you soon. Okay, guys. See ya.